What's up, guys? Today's video is going to be kind of more of a talking video instead of a doing video. Basically, I'm going to cover my performance modifications I've made since I got the bike and give you an honest opinion on if I think it was worth the money, if I want to change something, or if it was a utter waste of money, or, just overall how much I like it. So enjoy listening to me ramble on about things that I have done to make J-Lo faster, stronger. Alright, so basically what we have here is a 2016 Harley-Davidson Softail Slim. At least that's what she started her life as. This is J-Lo. And she now is not so slim anymore. She has a 200 rear tire conversion that I have a video and stuff up about. So that is debatably a performance upgrade that I've done. I mean, more tire gives you more contact patch on the ground to some degree, and this is a stickier tire than the factory Dunlops I have here. This one, I was just in the midst of making it a drag radio. I then did this. So if you need wheels and tires, I got them too. There's a little life left on them. But other than that, I've done the typical intake and exhaust, which I've actually, when I first bought the bike, the first thing that you want to do when you buy Harley-Davidson is no longer sound like a sewing machine that you're riding down the street. So you buy an exhaust, which I did. This is actually my 4th exhaust on this bike because I've changed them up a bit over the years. Now I finally landed on this Vance and Hines 2-in-1 high output short exhaust. This is actually meant for a Dyna, not a Softail, but the heads and the motor and everything are for the same, so that bolted up. The only clearance issues I run into is I'd probably have an issue getting the O2 sensor in behind here, and it's touching my floorboard here. Other than that, she bolted right up. Don't have the rear mount for this because, the Dyna one doesn't exactly fit, but this being the balanced 103 for the Softail, whole lot less vibration than the rubber mounted ones in the Dyna and the Touring. So this exhaust is sturdy, and I check this every time I ride, and it isn't loose, and it's not going anywhere. I haven't had an issue with it. But I'm working on making a mount, or since I picked this exhaust up as a deal off a bike that had gotten some sort of rash on it, I got this at about half price, and this is like an $800, $900 exhaust, so I wasn't going to shell that out, because up until then, I'd had short pipes on here, kind of just making noise, but it was robbing me of performance since I put an Andrews 57H cam in here. Well, 2 cams, it's a twin cam. So all right, so this is gonna be a cold start of my bike with the 57H cams and the Vance and Hines high output 2-in-1. Power band that it has. Torque comes on at 2,000 RPM and stays right at pretty much 100 foot-pounds of torque from 2,000 RPMs all the way to 58, 59, 6,000 RPMs. And I haven't had an issue, and the bike rips. Tuning that I have on here is the Vance and Hines FP3. I leave it plugged in because I can pull up gauges on my phone and clip it in here, and then I have a tack, I have my oil temperature, I have any gauge you can kind of think of showing up there. I can watch it. Now, not as many tuners use the FP3 in tuning, but I'll be getting a dyno tune eventually, relatively soon. But she runs really well now. She runs just a little fat, a little rich, primarily because I don't have O2 sensors in there, so it's probably on a little bit more of a chunky tune. But she runs well, and without a tune, she made 91.8 or so horsepower to the rear wheel and 99.4 or so foot-pounds of torque at the rear wheel. So I'm right there. This new exhaust should throw me right up to that 100 and 100 number that everyone's looking for on their Harley. Now, I don't know if I might be doing head work or larger displacement in the future, so we'll see which road that goes on. But that leaves me with this intake. This is the Vance and Hines Big Sucker Stage 2, and it allows 20% more airflow in than the Stage 1, which I don't know how much more the Stage 1 lets in there, but she's taking deep breaths with that. Pretty much most aggressive high lift cam you can do with stock valve springs, from Andrews at least. She's ran really well. The only issue I had with my install of the cams is one of my front push rods, I hadn't torqued the jam nut good enough, apparently, and the vibration that they make and just the movement that they make shortened it up. And one day the bike shut off on me while I was riding, and then I pulled into a driveway of some wonderful people, and they let me work on the bike with a couple buddies. We readjusted the push rod on the side of the road, checked the other one, make sure it was just the one, and that's what it seemed to be. And then I got her home. I then checked and readjusted all of the push rods and torqued them all good, added a little bit of Loctite on there. So now I haven't had any more issues. And this chain drive over here was done for performance too, because it is a little bit more of a, I want to call it efficient transfer of power to the rear wheel, but it is something a little more reliable, considering I was already shredding teeth off the factory belt with factory. Basically all that I had was an exhaust when I was tearing teeth off the belt. So the chain was a great install. I mean, I'm happy with it. It took the same amount of time as it would to do a belt swap, and about the same price if Vulcan works. I forget how much it was. It was 2 years ago now that I did that. And then the exhaust, I'm really happy with the 2-in-1. It definitely is a performance gain. Really, there's a lot of R&D in these 2-in-1s, and I'm sold on it. Whether or not I'm keeping this 2-in-1 is a story or not, but so far I like it, and I'm happy with the deal that I got on it. If I had spent $800 on it, I'm not sure I would be quite as happy, because I probably wouldn't have bought it. So look out for good deals. That's kind of how I put this bike together. I've been collecting parts for it for a year and a half to do the tire conversion, so there's that. We'll be thinking of putting a new clutch in towards the end of the riding season here in Pennsylvania, so that'll be coming soon. I'm debating on which clutch kit I will be using for that, but that's the plan. And then this is reliability thing too. Everyone knows about these gremlin bells, and you're supposed to mount them to as low as you can on the bike to keep away any gremlins that would pop up in the road and cause you to have unfortunate events. So I'd have to throw that in there as a reliability. Now, you can't just buy one of those for yourself. It has to be a gift, or else it is ineffective. Studies show. Lots of studies, lots of them show that, not just one. But yeah. guys, well, if you're still here, I thank you for watching and listening to me babble on and make some weird comments about some stuff that I've done to my bike and whether or not I've liked them or not. If you have any particular questions about any of the modifications that I've had done to the bike or that I've done to the bike, go ahead and fire them off below in the comment section. If you like one or more of the modifications I've done performance-wise to my bike, go ahead and like the video, because that's cool. If you hate something that I did and think that I picked a terrible cam and that I should have picked something else that only gives me less horsepower, then tell me that in the comment section below. If you liked any of this content that you've seen so far and want to see more about what happens with J-Lo, and if you like the sound clips that were in this video, let me know, and then subscribe, because there'll be more of those and probably some burnouts and stuff. I mean, only on the street, only in our local area of Mexico that we have. That is, because you wouldn't perform that dangerous act on public streets. That is not good to do. So we drive to our own separate part of Mexico that we have here, and the road's closed and there's nobody else there, and anyone else that is there are paid actors, professional drivers. Sounds about, yeah, probably. You get the clue. Whatever. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Peace.